with District 2 at large, District 3 at large, and District 4. Now I know you're going to be listening very carefully so you can pick out who is the principal individuals we have sitting up here. The candidates are going to be asked questions in order of their seating. Now, we may mix that up a little bit to keep it a little more interesting, but that's the way it's intended. Our moderators will address the time allotted to answer each question and the name of the candidate before each question. Please keep your eye on the timekeeper, and they will let you know how you're running. And after answering your question, pass the mic to the person sitting next to you. All right, so we're going to go from left to right and then right to left.
Sure.
So far. They may change somewhere in the middle, but right, I'll let you know when it does. Every candidate's going to have 3 minutes to make an opening statement. Then we're going to go to a round of questions by the moderators. All right, and then we're going to take a break after the first round of questions. All right, so in case anybody has to get a refreshment or something or stretch your legs, you don't feel like you're pinned to the chair. Right. At the end of the questioning session, everybody is going to, that's up there is going to have 1 minute to either rebut an answer from another candidate, right, or expound on an answer to a question that they previously answered to, if they have to add a little bit more to it. So let's not waste any more time. Who's asking the first question?
They get to talk for 3 minutes.
Oh, that's right.
I guess I'm first.
You're first.
This is interesting because I was last all day today at the Tiger Bay Club.
Ah.
apologize for your son, because you told me you were always going to be last.
I lied to him. My name's Chris Taupnitz, and a lot of you know me because I'm typically running in and out here every now and then. I'm running for school board. I'm sad to say that my opponent is not here because I think we would have been blessed by her being here and had some input from her insights versus mine. I have a vested interest, at least another 13 years, because I've got a kindergartner coming in. So I've got 13 years left in the school system. My wife has 15 years in the school system. She's a school teacher. And I'm a product of Pinellas County schools, just like my wife. We are a good school district. I want to make us great. I think we can be better than we are. I think there are things we can do that will further us and make us great again. I remember when Dr. Hinesley was here, Dr. Scott was here. We had a really good school district. We've gone down a little bit. I think we can come back, and we can come back with leadership, and I want to be that leader on the school board. Thank you.
Clear it. And start 1, 2, 3. Start. Go.
Ready?
Yes.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me up here in Ulster. I'm from way down in South St. Petersburg. My name is Kent Curtis. I am a parent, I'm an educator, and I'm an active volunteer in the Pinellas County school system. For the past 20 years, I've been training teachers and educating students in innovative classroom teaching techniques, and in particular, hands-on and experiential education, the kind of stuff that keeps kids busy while they're learning and is shown to help them learn. I'm not a big proponent of the standardized testing. I think that we've sort of lost our education and we've lost our ability to have teachers teach. I'm also a parent in the Pinellas County school system and have been for the last 8 years. Each of my 2 children have been enrolled in the public schools here since kindergarten, and I myself am a product of public schools. What I've seen in the schools concerns me, and it concerns me not just because I have skin in the game and I have kids getting educated by the Pinellas County schools, but because I live here in this county. And I know, as a member of this county, that our schools are the places where our communities are remade each and every day. If we want to live up to the great promise of this country, which says every child has an opportunity to compete, if we want to fulfill the promise of merit, if we want a strong democracy, strong, healthy economy, and strong, harmonious neighborhoods, we've got to succeed in our public schools. We've got to succeed. We have to succeed in ensuring that every child, whether they're a boy or a girl, whether they're high income, low income, or in the middle, receives an appropriate and a quality education. To that end, I want to create policies that acknowledge that every child is not going to college. But those who don't still deserve an excellent education and deserve to be trained to move right out onto the job market. Technical training, career training, apprenticeship training. There are jobs out there, and we have been pushing all of our kids to college. We need to stop that. We need to recognize that some of these kids need to go out and work and should be trained as such. Second, I believe we need to stop punishing our teachers because of the high-stakes testing environment. We need to celebrate teachers. Teachers are the front line of our education. Absolutely. They're out there doing the work. They need to get the respect that they deserve while being held to the highest possible educational standards. And we need to, most of all, have an open, accountable, receptive, and responsive school board and school district to the most important constituents, the parents and the guardians of the children who attend our school. Without their investment, without parent involvement and parent investment, it costs $1,000 more per child to educate a child. With their investment, we can educate these kids, and that's one of my most important campaign platform planks. My name is Kent Curtis. I'm running for Pinellas County School Board District 3 because I believe we can do better for our kids, for our parents, for our teachers, and for the future. Thank you.
If you don't mind, I'm going to step down off of that platform. I have to bring the chills on. I don't do that. Thanks. I'm Beverly Belaris, and I'm running for District 4. I have a very diverse background. Many people say that we have enough teachers on the school board. Yes, I'm an educator, but I've also have 40 years of business, 20 years of accounting background. I'm the former mayor of the city of Tarpon Springs, where we've dealt with budgets and wanted to do how we handle crisis and everything else. So doing that, and I've also been an educator. I taught for 10 years, and then I went back into the school system after I left public office. And when I went back, the principal said, because I had been gone for almost 15 years, and she said, "What do you think?" And I went, "Oh my God, what have you done? I'm so sorry. What have you done? You've taken the pleasure out of teaching and the pleasure out of learning. We are over-testing our kids. And, you know, we've talked about the Common Core. Yes, it's a state's mandate. Okay, I've dealt with mandates being in public office. You go to whoever, Washington, Tallahassee, whoever you do, and if you don't agree with it, you make your voice loud and clear. It doesn't work. I'm the only candidate that actually taught the Common Core this last year. There's no school board member that's taught it. When they implemented it, it came out. It was very poorly implemented. Teachers had 2 weeks' notice, 1 week's training, a whole new curriculum. We were just thrown into it, and we're used to that. But what we weren't used to is that it doesn't meet what we need to teach our kids with. The over-testing, I have kids coming into school crying, throwing up during testing, passing out during testing. We are testing kindergartners today. What are we doing? Yes, it's state mandated, but it needs to be addressed and it needs to stop. We're over-testing. We have things like when we look at the school grading and our discipline. Our discipline is tied to the grading of the school. So you don't get suspensions when you need them, because that brings down the grade level of the school. Teachers are given a cookie-cutter agenda, and I love when people get up and say, it's an F school, you need to fire all these teachers. If you're telling me how to teach it, when to teach it, and how long to teach it, and exactly what to say, I'm not teaching it. The state is, not me. And we need to address that issue. We need to have the autonomy back to the schools and back to the classrooms. I taught 20 years ago. Let me tell you, I didn't have discipline problems. Well, I still don't. You have to know me. I don't have discipline problems. But we didn't have what we had today. We gave out a better product. And when they talk about we need to think outside of the box, I never taught in a box to get out of. Thank you very much. I don't do well on platforms.
I don't do well with how you get known. Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity. My name is John Nygren, and I'm running for School Board District 4. I have 5 children and 15 grandchildren. I have more than 35 years of experience of teaching secondary math. I've also served 4 years in a school committee in the city of Lynn in Massachusetts. I've also worked in industry as a numerical control programmer. I've also owned a convenience store, sold real estate, and for 10 years I had the pleasure of working part-time for UPS. With 5 kids, you got to do what you got to do. Number of issues that concern me. I've taught in Pinellas County, and I started teaching at P-Tech South, which was a discipline school down on 34th Street. Dealt with kids who got caught with either drugs or alcohol on campus. 99% of those kids, really nice kids. They made a mistake. I went from there and became the math coach at Bayside High School on 49th Street, another discipline school, and also ended up teaching there. Again, vast majority of those kids are really nice kids. Some of the kids that you see in school, the situation they come from, for many kids, it's the best time of the day is when they're in school, because they're with somebody that they think cares about them as a person. Some of these kids hate to even see summer school vacation come because they have nothing to do. I'd like to create vocational schools, not academies, but true vocational schools, 9 through 12. I'd like to initiate new ideas to improve our elementary schools, create more alternative schools to keep the kids out of the classroom who do not want to be educated. If we get kids in school who disrupt the education of other students, those kids have to come out and go to another building. Not be suspended for 2 days and right back in the same school again. The thing just keeps going and going and going. I want to place the special needs aides back in the classroom. There's over 200 that were laid off, and according to the newspaper, they're going to be clerks next year. They need to be in the classrooms. I'd like to make nurses and school psychologists full-time, not part-time. It's pretty hard to tell a child you can't be sick today because the nurse isn't here. I'd like to create a zero-based budget in each building in the county. And what I mean by that is to set a pyramid. What is the minimum that each principal or superintendent needs in their building? And you build from there. Right now we have, I think it's a $1.33 billion budget. Where is it all going? I was hoping maybe you would have that answer. I want to reorganize the administration throughout the county. There are many schools that, one school in particular, they used to have over 2,000 students. They're now down to 1,400. You've lost about 12 teachers, but have the same number of administrators. How's that work? I want the board to set the policies and have the superintendent follow them instead of the other way around. I don't know if you're aware of how much money each school board member gets paid, just under $42,000. It takes a teacher 12 years to make that much money, 12 years. You're paying just under $300,000 for 7 members of the school board.
You got time? No.
I'd like to have the middle school and high school teachers go back to teaching 5 periods every day and not the 6 out of 7 right now. Teachers need more time to plan and collaborate. And I don't want to get hit for that 10 seconds.
No, we're not going to bring up the
I'm not that strong.
Evening, folks. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm Ken Peluso, District 4. Over the last 28 years in Pinellas County, I've had the pleasure of serving on numerous different local boards and statewide boards. Locally, I've been elected twice as Palm Harbor Fire Commissioner, served on FICSA, which oversees recreation and library in East Lake and Palm Harbor. I've been on the pension board, the hospital board. I've been Citizen of the Year, Honorary Mayor, School Business of the Year. Professionally, I've been a chiropractor for 30 years until retiring last year, and I was also honored as Florida Chiropractor of the Year. What's given me the most enjoyment and what I'm most passionate about is my involvement in education. That started back in the 1980s and in various different positions over the years. In 2007, I was appointed by the governor to chair the Early Learning Coalition of Pinellas, serve on the Florida Early Learning Advisory Council. I also served on the school board at Calvary Christian High School for 3 years. I think it's very important that our school board be diverse and truly representative of our community. I believe we need people that are deeply rooted in this community, have run a business, raised a family, and most importantly, I think people that embrace and actually live by the Judeo-Christian principles that our forefathers started this country with. I meet that criteria. I ask you to look at my website, votekenpeluso.com. You can learn more about my background. Look forward to answering your questions tonight. Again, Ken Peluso, District 4.
Want me to take it? No, it's all right. You'll get the first question. Oh, he's fixing it. Yours being, she does.
30 seconds for microphone adjustment.
Right. Actually, I thought, weren't we going back? Okay, we can do that. We can start with that.
I usually don't let him out of the closet until this is over.
Okay, Ken, you have 2 minutes to answer this question. What will your